Un anno fa il gruppo Beneteau lanciava la nuova generazione di uno
A year ago, Beneteau Group launched the new generation of one of its most important brands. I'm talking about the Prestige F4.9. If you liked the boat and you wanted something bigger, today you could be very happy because, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very proud to introduce you to Prestige F5.7. I'm sure you will be struck. Are you ready? Let's get started. This is the Boat Show. At the stern, the large electro-hydraulic platform measures 4.41 metres by 1.57 metres. It is used as a tender lift, and once it is submerged, it has its own integrated ladder. The storage hatch is centred, and the double entrance to the cockpit is very interesting. Normally, it is not present on boats of this size. The concept behind the design, signed by Camillo Garrone, wants to go in search of two very important aspects of onboard life. The first one is sought with the minimal management of furniture complements. These must be simple but most importantly useful, so that anyone on board has a smooth passage. On the other hand, there has been intelligent research in deck and interior layout to allow the owner to enjoy his conviviality with the crew, but at the same time allow him his privacy.
Ma nello stesso momento permettergli la sua privacy.
In the cockpit, two different sea-facing seats, together with two removable puffs, accommodate 6 guests. The folding aero deck table moves electronically to transform the whole area into a sun deck. On the starboard, there is the arrangement for the third steering position, and mirrored, there is an external service sink.
When we
talk about exterior and interior areas, normally there is a net division. In this case, it is a little more complex, since it looks like a seamless environment from the kitchen to the water. Actually, this one is called View Ocean Galley, and I think the name matches perfectly. It's positioned amidship, with a U-shape and accessorized with induction hobs, oven, fridge, icebox and other appliances, which makes it comfortable as the one at home. On a different flooring level, the large salon is surrounded by a boundless single seat that significantly enhances the perception of comfort. The furnishings, as already seen, exclude the superfluous, leaving the star subject of shipboard life in view, the sea. Large all-round windows ensure plenty of natural light that allows a keen eye to enjoy the finishes that Prestige, over the years, has definitely enriched in the search for materials and attention to detail. But that's not all, because Prestige has reserved a treat for this area that I personally find decidedly clever. We have already seen that Garrone focused on the concept of onboard conviviality. Well, even the helm station can be transformed to complement the large central salon. Wonderful. At the bow, a large sun deck with foldable backrest is accompanied by a removable centre table and 2 forward seating completing this area. The second helm station is on the Flybridge, where there are the commands that are present also in the main dashboard. Even the electronic screen is the same size, 16 inches, but down below are 2. Contrasted on the starboard side is a giant fixed sunbathing area that reaches up to the wet bar module with sink, grill and refrigerator. Aft, a large U-shaped seating area surrounds a fixed table that comfortably seats up to 8 diners. Prestige 5.7 comes in 2 different versions, one with an awning and the other, this one, with an openable fixed hard top, which however would be better kept closed in these weather conditions. This is way better. Not bad so far, huh? Maybe the staircase is a little too steep. Now let's move to the bow, where there is a true Prestige signature masterpiece. I'm talking about the master stateroom. This cabin is on an intermediate level between the main and the lower deck. Upon entering it, it is clear at a glance what the watchword was in the development of the layout. Large, indeed very large volumes.
Ampissimi.
The bed is central and truly impressive in size, almost 1.8 by more than 2 meters.
1,80 m per più di 2 metri.
The search for materials, the play of light on the ceiling and indirect lighting combined with the smoothness of lights and the simplicity and care of the furnishings makes this area a real suite by the sea. There is even a skylight in the bathroom dedicated to it, because natural light is always best. And now, let's go down again. To starboard is the day head, to port is even the washing machine, and amidships is the VIP cabin. A very clear choice was made here to seek maximum interior volumes while sacrificing those of a third contingent cabin, which is normally assigned to children or committed as additional storage space. Personally, I've never seen on a 57-footer such a large and cosy VIP cabin. If I were the owner, I would not know which one to choose. Also, because the volumes used for the bathroom and walk-in closet completely shield this whole area from the noise coming from the engine room, so it makes this whole environment completely silent.
Quindi rendono tutto questo ambiente completamente silenzioso.
Remember how I told you at the beginning that the new F5.7 is part of the new generation of Prestige? Okay, but what exactly does that mean? Generational changes go hand in hand with major changes that have been made on the models. From 1990 to 2010, there was the birth of the brand and then the first Prestige hulls, the first Flybridges. Then there was a new generation with the waterlines being revisited and a rearrangement of the layout on board. The owner's cabin was placed amidships. And now? Now things have changed further. The waterlines have become more modern, as we have seen, and the owner's cabin has moved to the bow, going for very important volumes in the side bows. The waterlines, in order to follow what was the change, also had to follow revisions, going so far as to characterise the hull with a deep V, to go to cleave the water before it gets on the large volumes of the structure, which give sustenance to the whole hull.
Sui grandi volumi dell'opera morta, che danno sostentamento così a tutto lo scafo. The design of
the new hulls and geometries was entrusted to Michael Peters, who, as we well know, is a certainty in this field. Let's bring the hull into planing. I give a little gas, because from the cameras I can clearly see that the wake has not detached yet. 8 knots, 10 knots, 1,700 RPM, and I'm consuming a total of 58 litres per hour, which is 2.9 litres per nautical mile. Today, the boat is equipped with 2 D8 Volvo Penta IPS engines at 600 horsepower each, a total of 1,200 horsepower, which, by the way, is the only option proposed by the shipyard. This is a particular choice, but do you know why? Because it works so well that way. Let's go look at the consumption. The planing limit is at 10 knots, 1,750 RPM, with a consumption of 2.9 litres per nautical mile and 67 litres per hour.
Con un consumo di 2.9 litri per miglio nautico e 67 litri per ora.
But if we give a little gas, we notice the thrust. The 4 counter-rotating trailing propellers make themselves noticeable.
Fanno sentire.
2,500 RPM, 19 knots, and consumption is still 2.9 litres per nautical mile at a total consumption of 171 litres per hour.
171 litri. Sono molto curioso di andare a vedere
I'm very curious to check out how Michael Peters managed the trade-off between refined volumes and performance of the boat. Of course, this is primarily a cruising boat, so we should not expect a lot of performance. But performance is also found in the management of fuel consumption.
Si ritrova anche nella gestione dei consumi.
Cruising speed with this motorization can be found at 2,750 RPM, 21.5 knots with a consumption of 221 litres per hour. But how will it perform in manoeuvring?
Ora come si comporterà?
Today in Cap Ferrat, the weather is certainly not the best, nor is it statistically the most usual. However, one must always calculate that at sea, bad weather can come at any time. Bad weather like rough seas. You must have a boat that allows you to deal with it at least to return to port safely.
Perlomeno per tornare in porto in modo sicuro.
The sea has a barely pronounced long wave that will allow me to get the feel for what the transition is like on the wave and the softness of the hull. In the meantime, in tacking, she is behaving really well, and the degree of heeling is minimal. The turning radius is quite large. This allows anyone to be comfortable at the helm without having to be a long-time commander. It allows you all kinds of mistakes.
Ti permette ogni tipo di errore.
But most importantly, navigation is really comfortable. We are covered, the visibility forward is good, and what can I say? You just have to enjoy the navigation, even in this horrible weather.
Anche con questo tempo da lupi. La velocità massima.
The top speed, however, should be found around 3,000 to 3,100 RPM, where I'm consuming exactly 241 litres per hour, and I've reached 27.1 knots. Excellent.
27 nodi punto 1. Ottimo. Insomma, quello che mi ha stupito del nuovo Prestige.
Well, in short, what amazed me about the new Prestige F5.7 is definitely the interior management, the cleverness of the layout, and then the care and refinement of the materials and finishes. But also, the navigation really gave good results, because the volume search did not affect what are the performance and navigation capabilities at all. In short, another great masterpiece from one of the world's leading brands.
Grande capolavoro di uno dei brand più importanti al mondo.